Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Stokes. Today I will be the counselor. And if I was in a session with a family, in a family therapy session, I would be using and incorporating the Bowen family system theory. And the sample family that I'm going to be discussing today is the Marigal family from the movie Encanto. There is a division within the family, if you will. And for this example, I will be using Maribel and Abuela. In a session, if I was just working with those two of the family, I would try to get into the deep rooted and deep seated issues. So I would ask questions to Maribel to ask her, how does she feel when it comes to the responsibilities or all that is incorporated in being underneath her abuela in the family. How does she feel? In her response, if she feels inadequate, less than, left out, I ostracize, isolated, any of those terms that Maribel would show or express to her abuela, it's giving her a platform to show feeling and emotion calmly. And that is reflected in the Bowen theory. So, in response, I would ask Abuela certain questions about when you see Maribel pull away, or when you see her veer off away from the rest of the family because of the isolation and not feeling the inclusivity in the family, how does that make you feel? Or what is your response to Mirabelle now that she's expressed those feelings? So if the abuela says that she's scared that our family will fall apart or that we will lose everything, she's also reflecting her anxiety and her fears of loss. And that is the what's being transmitted between both parties in the family. Mirabelle is just reflecting what's coming from her abuela. She doesn't have a gift like the rest of her family members. She does not have any source of magic behind her. But Mirabelle doesn't want to be disassociated from the family for the lack of her not having a gift and not feeling the inclusiveness. So by doing this exercise or by asking these questions from both parties, I'm helping both recognize their emotional reactivity to each other. Because if you are upset or you feel ostracized or you feel alone or you feel distant or you don't feel connected, because of the power of her abuela, the controllingness, the controlling nature of her hierarchy, in a sense. It's giving a different, it gives a different perspective because maybe her abuela doesn't know and isn't aware that those are the feelings and she feels unheard. That could also be something if I've asked that question, and that would be her reaction. Um, by doing this, she's expressing her feelings, as I've said it before, calmly without absorbing her grandmother's fear, which I stated. And I can guide her abuela to acknowledge her worries without controlling Maribel. And that would be something that we would go through with talk therapy in future sessions. And they are, in the long run, they are emotionally differentiated and still staying connected because they're both showing up and they're both trying to show their true feelings and express calmly what's going on with them. And this is how I would guide them in future therapy sessions between Mirabelle and between Abuela. I hope this helps. And this is a reflection of using the reflection of self. Um, and by doing that, obviously, I'm using the Bowen therapy theory. So I wanted to make sure that I incorporated all of the parts to just show how I would work with the family. And this could also play a part for the oldest sister as well. If it was a different setting and it was Abuela and it was the oldest sister, I believe her name was Isabella. She had this high expectation for her to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. She had to be the perfectionist. She had to be the beautiful one, the smart one. She had to be the one that was the most gifted, the most talented, the perfectionist. And even with her reflection of how she felt, her brother was not clear that she just wanted to be acknowledged as being different. She wanted to be creative. She didn't want to be controlled. And Abuela would have to receive that. Obviously, the message would have to be delivered more constructively and calmly in a therapy session. And I would be able to guide that conversation between the two so that both can get an understanding of where each person is coming from. Thank you.